The Presidential Commission of Inquiry concluded the recording of evidence on Tuesday and is currently in the process of analysing the evidence that has been placed before them. Tonight, we take a look at an instance where contradicting views were expressed before the Commission.
The Presidential Commission of Inquiry was appointed to investigate and inquire into the Treasury bond issue and an alleged scam that took place surrounding the Treasury bond auction on the 27th of February 2015. Attention was drawn at the Commission towards a breakfast meeting that had taken place on the 26th of February 2015, a day prior to the impugned bond auction. Ex-Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake, then Minister of Highways Kabir Hashim, Chairman of the United National Party Malik Samaravikrama, ex-Central Bank Governor Arjuna Mahendran and the Treasury Secretary had participated in this meeting. It was also placed before the Commission. The three Deputy Governors of the Central Bank, officers from the Road Development Authority as well as Ministry Secretaries were present at the meeting. Malik Samaravikrama had attended this meeting while he was serving as chairman of the United National Party and he was not a minister at the time. Following media revelations and public outcry on the bond issue, the Prime Minister made a statement to Parliament.
මුදල් තිබුණේ නැහැ. ඉතින් මුදල් බිලියන 100ක් එකට එකතු කරන්න බෑ.
Funds were needed urgently. It is impossible to collect 100 billion rupees at once. Therefore, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Highways, the Secretary to the Finance Ministry, the Central Bank Governor, the Deputy Governors and other officials met on the 26th of February and discussed the requirement. It was decided there was an urgent need of 15 billion rupees. By then, the Central Bank had already advertised the issue of 1 billion rupees in Treasury bonds. There were bids and they wanted to raise the remainder via private placements. I did not agree to that. Any requirement should be raised in a public manner. There were bids for 20 billion rupees and he instructed the tender board of the Public Debt Department to accept 10 billion rupees in bids.
According to the Prime Minister, a decision had been made at this breakfast meeting to raise money for the stalled road development projects via the issuance of Treasury bonds. However, testifying before the Presidential Commission, Minister Kabir Hashim and Malik Samaravikrama said the meeting related to the funding requirement for stalled road development projects and there was never a discussion about the bond auction the next day or any issuance of Treasury bonds. Former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, P. Samarasiri, testified before the Commission the meeting was centered on obtaining local funds for road development projects that were stalled. Ananda Silva, another Deputy Governor, said the outcome of this meeting did not indicate an imminent need to make payments and no request was made to raise money from the next auction. Another Deputy Governor, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, said during this breakfast meeting the former Governor and the Ministers had stepped away for a brief discussion. Former Central Bank Governor Arjuna Mahendran, testifying before the Commission, said it was discussed to raise a sum of 75 billion rupees for the road development projects. He said this requirement was at the back of his mind when he visited the PDD when the auction was going on the 27th of February 2015 and he instructed the officials to raise the maximum from the auction. Ex-Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake also said the urgent requirement of 75 billion rupees was discussed at the breakfast meeting. He was not questioned about any decision to raise the funds through the auction at this meeting when he testified. Was there actually a discussion to raise money through the bond auction at this infamous breakfast meeting? Therefore, who is speaking the truth?
First, we must look at the warrant under the hand of His Excellency the President, by which this commission has been established. Now, the warrant is very clear, having given the Honourable Commissioners the authority and warrant and power to hold an inquiry into the subject matter, which is these bonds that are being inquired into at the moment, and specifically refers to Section 14. Section 14 of the Commissions of Inquiry Act. The liability of any person to prosecution under Chapter 11 of the Penal Code, read with Section 9. Chapter 11 of the Penal Code have clear provisions that become punishable under the criminal law of this country for fabricating or intentionally giving false evidence. Now, if therefore at the inquiry at the commission, if anyone were to fabricate evidence or give false evidence or with intention try to waylay the course of justice or the course of inquiry with knowledge that they are giving false evidence under oath, they are clearly punishable as an offence under the penal code of this country.
Meanwhile, the Presidential Commission of Inquiry on Bond Issuances has also directed the Director of the CID to commence a criminal investigation regarding threats made to a witness. Newsfirst reliably learns that this is regarding penal code offences and offences under the Witness Protection Act.